Alright. Let's finally watch the last Caddy video because I'm getting tired and hungry. So let's end the night on this Caddy vid. Let's do it. Let's do it. Like, there's also a couple other Caddy vid suggestions I haven't got to, but some of them were from YouTube comments, and it's so hard to like remember and organize that shit. I'm working on it, I promise. I'm trying to get a better way to organize video suggestions instead of like the haphazard way I have it. I'm working on it, but yeah. Let's go. Let's this one was 6 years ago. Spider-Man. Are you ready for the Spider-Man?
Spoilers, alright, okay, nice.
Yeah, spoilers for Spider-Man. Yuko, I hope you make all the money.
I ever had was when I was walking down
Get
the
all
street
that money,
in the middle of the
money.
night and said hello to the postman.
I hope you have a good
as soon as
one.
I waved to him, some sticky, stringy stuff flew out of my wrist. 9 months later, the postman had twins, and then Spider-Man for the PS4 came out to let me relive that very same dream.
What? Wait.
This is the closest outfit I have. Shut up. It's Spider-Man on PS4.
I was about to say, are my eyes okay? Like, cause I was, it's like, wait a minute. Like, my eyes were trying to adjust. Like, I don't think that's Spider-Man. Also, I have completed the main Spider-Man game, but I need to replay it because I didn't play the DLC, and I haven't played the other latest ones either. Again, it's on my mountainous pile of backlog of games I need to do.
Ever made? Well, if you're asking me, you're goddamn right it is. This game was so good I nearly finished it 100%, which I never do for modern releases. And the best thing about it is that if you have a favourite
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun game.
There is something here for you. There's something here for everybody.
Do you like the indoor level styles of the PS1 Spider-Man series?
I have
Great,
that.
because this game's got them. Do you like the pure and utter
I have
freedom
that.
and moment-to-moment crime stopping from Spider-Man 2 on PS2? Great, because this game's got that too. Do you like the amazing Spider-Man 2
I don't
on
have that.
PS4? Well, it doesn't matter because that game is shit and this one's better than it. In fact, I don't think this game has too big of an ego for its own good. It's frigging amazing from the
Pretty
second
sure I
it
don't have
starts. You
that
get a
one
brief
anyway.
intro cutscene, Peter Parker grabs himself some lovely and sticky webby toast, and then off you go. You're playing the game already.
The way
Seamlessly
I honestly can't remember if I actually have that amazing Spider-Man game because my games are so disorganized that it's like they're all over the fucking place. Like I've got like Xbox 360 mixed up with PlayStation 2. I've got PlayStation 1 randomly stuffed in between like Wii games and PlayStation 2. And it's all over the place. It's a mess. It's a mess.
from the cutscenes, and you get to feel firsthand how great this game feels right then and there, which will last until the end of the game. You don't even get that whole tired shtick of starting a Spider-Man game with Uncle Ben with the whole, oh, isn't he lovely? He's like the dad that Peter never had. With great power comes great responsibility. You know the story, you know the spider bite, and this game knows that it doesn't need to waste your time with it. You're just
Complete the
off
main story
straight
well,
away,
but going
zipping
back to
through
now, I
buildings
hate
at 100
Mary
miles an
Jane
hour,
Watson
spinning
missions.
webs of any size,
Yeah, I
catching
get,
just like flies. Look out.
like, I didn't mind them, but it felt, I don't know. It felt kind of disjointed. It felt kind of out of place. I feel like that could have been like an add-on or something. Like a small add-on DLC or something for free. If you wanted to like do a little extra stuff. Like it just felt disjointed in a way. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it besides that.
Here comes the Spider-Man.
Christ, Peter Parker, slow down!
Unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before you're 30.
Like I said, I feel like that could have been like a
I
free
think someone's been eating a little bit too much.
like
Peter.
add-on
The actual
DLC
story, though,
thing.
starts off with a bang. You're on your way to
Optional.
stop the lord of all New York City crime, the Kingpin, Wilson Fisk.
Filson West.
And this whole segment kicks off the rest of the game beautifully. It not only provides you with every basic enemy type and allows you to fight one of Spidey's oldest and most dastardly foes straight away, but also explains organically why all the crime in the city goes haywire right after you finish this intro mission. You've locked up the Godfather, of course the crimes will increase with everyone trying to take over. And despite the crime fighting being a part of the gameplay, it doesn't feel video gamey because of that. It feels real. This is true for the rest of the crime syndicates and corrupt organizations you uncover as the game continues, but even when you complete the checklist amount of crimes times needed for completion in each district, you can still get intercepted by undercover operatives from Fisk trying to avenge him, and muggings will still be happening at random points all over the place to increase the authenticity and give you more XP. After then taking down Fisk,
I wonder if I
you're sitting
should
there
play,
thinking, well, god
like...
damn it, I just locked up the head of all crime in the city. Time to web the game into the bin. And just plot and switches gears and focuses on this.
I wonder, like, I have the games, I have the Spider-Man games for, the PlayStation, but are they any good for PC? Because I know PlayStation keeps trying to, like, put a lot of their games on, PC now. I'm wondering if were the Spider-Means were good PC ports. I'm kind of curious, because a lot of time it's 50-50.
Guy known as Martin Lee, supervillain alias Mr. Negative. Not only because he's literally photo-negative in his design, but because his name fits his character. He's definitely more of a glass half-empty kind of guy. Oh, and by the way, Norman Osborn is the mayor in this game, and not a single person likes him. That's it for the setup, though, because for most of the game, and
Sounds
I mean
about right.
most of the game, you find yourself flying around this absolutely bustling and gorgeous cityscape with your dubious white substance, very similar to that bit in Silence of the Lambs. And let me just say it very calmly, this game fucking nails the ant-infested shitty web swinger! This game makes you, without sounding cliche, feel like Spider-Man.
Spodley Manscript? Oh my god.
Become the Batman! There's a reason that saying has been repeated by games journalists over and over again, more than my grandma says that hurts. Whether you're stopping a car full of drug dealers or catching bloody pigeons for a close friend, you feel like the Spider. There's no other way to describe it. Every ability Spider-Man has is utilized to the fullest, and even side missions have you doing all sorts of things you'd see in the comics or animated shows, like stalking people and taking recon pictures while climbing buildings, and even high-speed chases. And the swinging itself, it's heavenly, it's bliss, it's delicious, and the way the game's soundtrack dynamically shifts to a grand adventurous score the second you get some speed going adds to how great it feels. To be clear for a second though, most people swear by Spider-Man 2's swinging controls and how realistic the weight felt. You could even stay stuck on a building and not move at all if you wanted, but here, that kind of manipulation doesn't work anymore. I mean, you still need something to attach to make the web swinging work, which does work with the physics very well, but this game is entirely built around much faster and expressive swinging with a singular trigger. And saying that, even the game itself takes a jab at Spider-Man 2 as it stands.
That totally worked last time.
You've got some guts, game. But hey, I did love Spider-Man 2 when it came out all that time.
Although, to be fair, despite the meme that comes from that, his face, his expression, that actually was like a real legit emotional badass scene in that movie. Like, 10 out of 10. Mwah. Instant classic.
Ago, but taking nostalgia shades off for a second, I don't even think you can compare that one to this for how much different everything else is. Consider Spidey 2 a foundation that the PS4 game expands tremendously upon and being made much more animated and flowing. By holding and letting go of R2 in the correct intervals, and depending on if you jump at the lowest and highest point of the swing, you increase either your speed or verticality. And based on that, you can control how Spidey flies around to a T, as long as you have something to web onto, of course. The web swinging is integrated beautifully into the speedy parkour, and in order to do this in the most natural and efficient way possible, the game helps you out with many simple actions you can activate.
I hate it when dialogue gets interrupted in games and it just you never hear it get finished ever if it gets interrupted.
Link building top parkour into perch launching and quick zipping directly onto other rooftops, quickly change directions with more quick zipping onto things directly next to you, launch high into the air and skydive to increase your speed for the next swing, and I was even learning things never explained in text boxes directly to you, like holding web on the building you're attached to allows you to then detach and wall run automatically, and then using the high speed web zip command while wall running allows you to fly upwards, and holding L2 usually slows down the game into an aim mode so you can put yourself onto objects or fly towards enemies, but if you're already swinging and holding R2 to swing, then you can just tap L2 to lock onto the nearest perch.
Yeah, I do. Like, if you have not played the Spooderman games, I recommend at least this one I've played.
Look how smooth this
It's
is.
smooth as fuck, yeah. It feels so good to play.
The combat, for instance, which, if you played the Arkham games before,
I have not.
you'll recognize.
It's on the list.
I found this a lot more reaction-based, a lot more skill-based, and I died a good few times trying to learn the ins and outs of it.
Like,
Overall, though, it is
Spider-Man, when it first released, like, it was one of those games where it made me want to complete it. Like I wanted to 100% it, and I did. And then they released a DLC, and I wasn't playing it at the time, so now I gotta go do it again. But which is a little annoying, but yeah, it's one of those games where you like to explore, you like to look in all the little nook and crannies. It's fun. I recommend it.
Great stuff. At its most very basics, it is Batman Arkham. You dodge when your spider sense flashes, attack with basic
Again, I haven't
action
played it
buttons,
yet.
have to use different
It's on
tactics
the
during
list.
brawls to take down shield enemies, brute
The Batman
enemies, and
games
sword
are
and
on the
whip enemies,
list.
but it is also a little trickier and way more flashy and impressively animated. Honestly, I prefer it. It's more punishing for mistakes, a little bit more free in the movement, and it looks a lot cooler. So what
I
more
also
can I say?
love a
Dodging
lot
with
of the
spider sense tingles doesn't do the Arkham
different
thing as well when the game
Spider-Man
automatically lets you counter and gives you a biscuit every
suits
time you
you
press the
can
button when you
unlock
see the prompt. Here,
and get.
it just gives you a rough idea when you should probably dodge, and using enemy animations and sound cues is what helps you get the timing perfect. You can dodge away from attacks, or in some cases dodge into them, which allows Spidey to slide underneath the enemy, hit them, and then keep the combo going at the risk of being closer in the middle of the danger zone. And like
recommend
whip
playing
swinging,
on
there's loads
console
of tricks you can
because
do
on
never explained to
PC,
you directly
not it.
or until you unlock them through
Okay.
XP. You have punches and kicks on square, but then everything else web-related mapped to triangle, which can be used to home attack in on any target wherever they happen to be on the map, grab and swing enemies at each other or pull them towards you to kick them away, pull them upwards into the sky to get an aerial combo going, disarm them, and this isn't including grabbing all the other objects and items in the world around you to cause utter devastation when swung around or
Oh, when
pulled
you
down.
get
And since the game
when
has
you're
built a lot
able to
around
use an
Arkham style
object
soft-locking, you'll find that keeping
correctly
combos
and
going
fuck
between
shit up
enemies
with
by
it,
web
oh,
attacking
it's so
towards them
good.
or launching them into the air ready to ground slam them all, or even web swing kick the arseholes off buildings is done pretty accurately most of the time for the most natural looking and graceful superhero combat I've ever seen in a game. You can pull off Tony Hawk Pro Skater level ridiculousness here, it's great. Even to the point of dodging into walls mid-air and then launching straight back off of them again into someone's face to get into the action again. The way that health works is neat too, since it's not one of those games that lets you recover over time by escaping the danger and coming back when you're ready or giving you items for it. No. Instead, if you want your health back, you need to trade your focus points for it, which is built up depending on how well you do in the combat, you know, keeping the combos going, not taking damage, etc. Get better at the game, take more risks and be braver in group brawls, use more gadgets if you want to, and you'll see the focus bar go up pretty quickly, after which you can choose to press the down button to get a portion of your health back depending on how much focus you have.
Yeah, I
Rewarding
wonder
those
how
who
bad
adhere
it
to the
gets, because
rules
there's like,
established
if
by
I
the
remember right, there's like different levels of difficulty, and I don't think I've only played it on normal or whatever. So I'm wondering how bad it can get in the harder difficulties when it comes to refilling that meter to refill your health. That's gotta.
that makes it the most fun and satisfying way to play it in combat, being in the middle of it. If you're overconfident though, you can trade a massive chunk of your focus for a one-hit kill attack instead, which you then have to charge the focus up again with if you need to heal, so deciding on what to use your focus on as and when is a subtle yet extremely effective mechanic, especially in the middle of all this chaos. And yes, all the one-hit kills are indeed uniquely animated and look bloody incredible.
Oh, and even better, you can turn
Him
off
in this
QuickTime
goddamn
events in the pause
costume.
menu. Yes, even for the cutscenes, which I did straight away, because do you remember what happened the last time Spider-Man used QuickTime events?
Once you get new suits
I
and tokens you
forgot
earn through
about
side
that.
missions, you can also get new special moves to
Oh,
unlock
that-
that build
oh,
up
that
over
fucking
time
killed
to be
me.
used whenever you're ready. Decoy holograms,
Suck at the combat of this
times 4
game?
damage, electric fists, shockwaves,
It depends on,
arms, drone attacks. There's
like,
all
the
sorts here,
regular-
all of which affect the playing field in totally
regular
different
combat
ways,
I
can be
was
swapped with
pretty
one seem
okay
more
at,
useful than the other in the
but
middle of
certain,
combat, and
like,
once again,
boss
all
fights and
look
stuff
extremely cool. And in the same
annoyed
vein,
the
there's
hell out of
different
me.
equipable web shooter gadgets that can be used on the fly or during the combat for insanely powerful and useful moves that once again look really damn cool, and you'll get refills depending on how well you do in stealth or the combat. The soft lock works really well with this too, so you don't feel like you have to keep on going into L2, but that does help sometimes, especially when there's a lot of people and you need to web up one person. These web shooter gadgets can be used at any point during the combos and are equally brilliant and fun to use as much as everything else here, and the game encourages you to experiment with all of them a little bit to increase your focus meter a lot quicker than usual. You can use basic web shooters to distract people or tie them up on the spot briefly, use ultra powerful web launchers to fly and stick people up against walls or different objects, use web trip
gotta
drive
get that
do
sticky,
the same kind of
sticky.
thing, fire web bombs to cover everybody in the gucky stuff, electrocute people. There's so many things you can do here, and some enemies even require the use of basic quick reloading web shooters to even fight in the first place, like brutes.
Yeah, I
It's
also love the
completely
fact
nuts. You're
that
webbing
some of the
people with your
suits
cream
have
like a
like
French baker with
special
an icing bag and
abilities.
2 kilos of crack. Do you understand why people kept saying that you feel like Spider-Man here then? Yeah, it's very cliche to say at this point, but it really does such a fantastic job of it. Some missions you complete make the audience of people around you burst into applause, and you can walk on the ground level and say hi to your adoring fans.
Yeah, you also,
Or you can be horrible. And this stuff
yeah, also, like there's random encounters with random NPCs where you can like give them high fives, like take selfies with them and stuff. And I think you get like a trophy or an achievement for it if you do it a certain amount of times. I think. I'm pretty sure. That sticky gooey. That sticky gooey.
may make you feel like you're in Spidey's shoes for sure, but that's not all we have here to make this a joy to play and experience. I mean, just look. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. How is the PS4 doing
Yeah,
this exactly? There's tons of people walking around, so many colors and textures flying
It is
by
a
faster than
gorgeous
you can
game.
doing it all at a consistent frame rate.
No, actually, I changed my mind. This game is terrible. It's worse than shit on toast. Wanna know why? Because they don't even use the pizza delivery theme from Spider-Man 2.
What a
Spider-Man
shame.
on PS4, this is not a sin that can go unpunished. Oh my god.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What the fuck? Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Whatever, Twitch app. You don't want to work. That's fine. Alright. I'm guessing we're back up. We're stable again. Yeah, OBS was being weird. It did that thing where it was like, OBS cannot find your Twitch stream key or whatever. It's like, what? Like, what? It's being fucking ridiculous again. But yeah. Alright, let's finish this video. I was like almost done with streaming anyway, and it's gonna cut me off at like the end. The end of my fucking stream. Fucking rude.
Is that it? Mamma mia!
I mean, it isn't flawless. It does have weird moments, like when all the traffic stops moving for no reason and all the cars look exactly the same. That's kind of strange. And Peter Parker himself kind of has a Thunderbirds thing going on. But everything else, from the sunlight streaking through the skyscrapers, the birds scattering as you disturb their rest, the way Spidey realistically reacts with his body to buildings and objects while parkouring, and I mean on absolutely everything. The way he sometimes uses double webs when you use the quick zip forward command if there are two buildings there for that extra level of immersion. And how about that escaping Electro mission? Look at this shiting bastard blow up everything, and I should be angry, but it's just so damn beautiful that I wanted to murder everybody in the city. My god, I was completely speechless through this whole part, and the fact that it wasn't a cutscene just makes it all the more impressive. Also, this bit happened, which was simply funny.
Vulture, long time no see. We're going to have so much fun.
There was one part though that I actually got stuck on during a mission.
Take
because the
stream
Salo agents
elements,
fixed
yeah.
it out on the
I'm
minute he
live.
attacked them.
Thanks.
Are you alright there, mate? I think there's a building in your way. I mean, this shit was funny enough, and then eventually I was allowed to attack them, but then, oh dear, another one just buggered off to the far reaches of space, meaning I couldn't finish the mission whatsoever without restarting the whole thing. What are you doing up there, coward? Overall, though, I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
have
can't
eyes,
remember.
I assume, so I'm sure you can see that this game is luscious.
I can't
There's
remember if
nothing
I
else
had
can
any,
say other than Spider-Man truly
like,
is
game-breaking
a visual
glitches or-
marvel. The presentation wasn't the only thing nailed
Fucking
though to
hell, Caddy.
accompany the game feel.
Demented
because this,
laugh.
New York City, it's wonderful.
I can't remember if I got
Better
any
than
like
Arkham
glitches
City
that would
by
like
far, but
make
this is to be expected.
progressing
I mean, this game was made
a
by
problem.
Insomniac, the same people behind the original Spyro trilogy and original Ratchet and Clank. So when it comes to fantastically realized worlds oozing with life, I trust Insomniac with defleeing my dog with a blowtorch. The level of thought here is so brimming to the point of fast traveling being represented by a brief cutscene of Spidey riding the subway. And that moment I recorded when he finds a cosplayer and starts chatting to him left me gleaming. Okay, stop, that's too much. No, stop it, seriously. Enough. No, I said that, as did the parts later in the game when Spidey is essentially
When Caddy literally scares himself.
a fugitive and has to hide on the outside of the trams when he fast travels. And this bit made me smile too when he ends up teaching one of the side characters basics of self-defense, awkward handshaking from a fanboy and everything. And the relationship between Mary Jane and Peter, I actually cared about them both. And one of the coolest things about Spider-Man to me is how relatable and down to earth he is. once you remove, you know that. He's just a guy at school struggling to pay the bills.
Oh
and
yeah,
that
he's
is a lot
very,
cooler to me.
very relatable and just like fucking tornado of destruction with that sticky gooey.
An eccentric billionaire Brucey here being miserable all the time. This texting moment where they misunderstand each other hits a lot of relatable notes for tons of people, I'm sure. But can I just give a word of advice to you, MJ? Like, I know you and Peter Parker have had your ups and downs, but come on, if he isn't good enough for you, if pissing Spider-Man isn't good enough for you, no one is. The way the game handles crimes and responsibility is top-notch too. Crimes pop up on your radio via the police scanner, and whether or not you help out or leave them to it is left entirely up to you. There's no obligation in the gameplay to do this other than having the residents not be very happy with you when you get to the ground level for messing everything up. It's all up to your conscience basically, which I suppose would be the same thing in real life. And hey, even if you decide to help out with every other thing that pops up, you get tokens for upgrade parts, XP for unlockable abilities, and much like the web swinging, the flow of the game is never compromised no matter what you decide to do. You're in and out before you even realize it half the time. Unlike this game, where you get interrupted constantly with loading screens and cutscenes every time Spider-Man decides to stop off and scratch his hairy ass on a bit of scaffolding. And I must be honest, seeing the
Goddamn.
combat
Yeah, I
stuck
don't
to
remember
one
playing
camera
those,
angle when
so-
you stop armed robberies is a lovely touch.
Are you really him? Not just a seriously good cosplayer?
Lady, that can't be the best cosplay of Spider-Man you've ever seen. Do you even
Yeah,
know what Spider-Man looks like?
Yeah, some of these costumes are like, you would definitely look like you were more of a hardcore fan instead of the actual legit Spider-Man.
Side quests and things to do around the city are pretty sweet too, and like I mentioned earlier, all link into your upgrade crafting for new suits and upgrades with what the game calls tokens. So they're not only a fun distraction and very varied, but definitely worth doing anyway. Even better, with suit upgrades specifically, with every new skin that you unlock, you also get a new super
Yeah, I
move
thought
to
it was
claim.
cool that
But
you
if
got,
like the move but don't like the suit,
to
it doesn't
upgrade
matter
stuff.
because you can mix and match whenever you want and are never tied down to an ugly suit for the sake of a power-up. Assassin's
Yeah,
Creed
I
style
love
titles
the
unlock more of the
customization
map
when it
here
came to
find,
the
but you know
suits.
you are.
Spider-Man!
So it's automatically more
Spider
fun and quicker to do.
Man.
There's collectible bags Peter left hidden around the city just in case of emergencies, full of Spider-Man Easter eggs and little gadgets, and my favorite distraction quest was taking pictures of landmarks. Not only a tie into Peter Parker's old photography job, and not only a great excuse to mess with the game's light to see how gorgeous you can make it look, but once I discovered even this was incorporated into the flow and the speed of everything else, since you could web swing, leap, whip out the camera, aim it to slow the game down, take the image, and then keep on swinging along without a second breath, I'm pretty sure I had to change my pants. It's like everything was thought of here. There's also some pretty decent pace-changing puzzles of a few
Yeah, it's-
varieties,
the game
both
is just-
visual and logical. There's timed missions
It's not
putting things
perfect,
under
but
pressure for you,
it's
and
mostly
scanning the environment is nowhere
really
near as broken as it
smooth
is
to
in the
play.
Arkham games by revealing absolutely
It
everything.
feels
It
good
mainly
to
just shows
play.
you
The
certain
gameplay
enemies,
actually
objective markers, and doesn't change the look of the
plays
game,
like a game.
which is good, because
That
if the game
feels
looked like this for
good.
80% of it, I wouldn't want to make out with it anymore.
Wanna know the best bit
oh
of
my
this
god,
game, though?
Caddy.
My favourite part of the whole
Caddy,
thing.
no.
Once you reach the midway point, you get to fight.
Okay, yeah, there's actually a fair few parts of the game where you play as either Mary Jane Watson or Miles in these watered down and drawn out stealth segments. And they aren't awful, don't get me wrong, but easily are the worst parts of the game in comparison to everything else. Since Spidey can do all of what MJ can do, but more, it just feels like an unnecessary restriction for no reason and not enough of a good excuse to slow
Yeah,
the pace
again,
of the
I feel
game
like-
down. Although
I feel like these could have been sections that could have been added on for like optional stuff if you wanted to like 100% it, but it wasn't like a part of like the main story. Like I didn't have an awful time doing these missions. Like it wasn't that bad. It just felt out of place and just disjointed in a way. It kind of just, I don't know, it messed with the flow of the game. Like, I get where they were trying to go with it, but again, they should have made it more of an optional thing instead of part of the main story.
I did love it when Spider-Man was actually involved with these missions and you could command him to come down and make the enemies frigging launch up into the air like a deflated balloon. If there is one thing I'm not
Yeah,
too
that
keen on,
part was
though,
funny.
To be honest, it's the sodding climbing. Okay, to be exact, it's fine, but it just isn't that great. And for one of Spider-Man's main abilities, it's kind of shit that it isn't as perfect as the rest of the game. And I don't mean just inside
Yeah,
either.
the
In fact,
climbing doesn't
indoors,
feel
I
as
kind of
smooth as
understand
the
why
rest.
This doesn't work 100% of the time because you're cramped into a confined space. and Insomniac probably didn't want us sticking to every single surface around you while shanking bad guys in the teeth, but anywhere else in the game it can often be downright broken. Luckily, wall running and speedy parkour is great, and that is what the game is built around, but there are many moments of precise climbing that's needed, yet the game just doesn't allow you to do it. Or you logically should be able to do it, but the game just doesn't let you, forcing you to awkwardly flip backwards and lose your place, or more egregiously, get spotted while in stealth mode. Even in this bit, a square bloody room, I was stuck in.
Yeah, like, it really bugged me most of the time. Like, most of the time I didn't notice, but it really fucking bugged me when I was, it was during, like, a mission or something, and I couldn't progress because the climbing was not climbing right. It was, the wall climbing was just, it just could not compute with itself. It was like, what are you trying to do? I'm trying to wall climb, and it just could not compute.
In this room for a good 10 minutes because I tried going through what I thought was the right place, but it wasn't, or because I came at it from the wrong angle. I mean, come on, even the PS1 games got this right. And this is a huge shame to me because the descend ability is easily the best in any Spidey so far, if you ask me. It's not just a fancy move with no purpose. It allows you to aim your webbing or zip towards new vantage
Stretch
points
my
when
spine
you're stuck
again. This
upside
chair
down
is
to a
gonna,
wall,
like,
or even do stealth kills. And this
turn my
janky,
spine into a
weird climbing
fucking
can
pretzel.
affect the smoothness of the stealth system itself, actually. I mean, the stealth system works, it's fine, but this is a game more concerned with the speedy reactions and fast-hitting combo building than slow strategy. If you're looking for something as smooth and simple to understand as Arkham, you're not going to get it here. Most of the time you get one chance to be invisible, and then that's it. If you're spotted, you aren't anymore. And as far as I could see, there was no way to escape and re-hide yourself. I mean, there might be, I just couldn't figure out how to do it myself. I did try. Oh, and sometimes the stealth doesn't work at all, like here. Are you telling me you didn't hear that, you It's got the basics at least. You can distract, plant traps, travel around vantage points and hang people up in webs, sneak up behind people and take them down silently, but yeah, like I said, it's not Arkham levels of smooth and experimental. It's more for the sake of a bonus to make clearing a room out a little easier. And again, if the climbing was a little bit more refined, I'm sure I'd be singing a different tune.
How many other heroes fight crime and fix your shower?
Well,
You know Mario's actually a plumber, right?
Now, as far as the rest of the story goes, it's not a major focus. It's as close to a campy, light-hearted comic book plot as it gets, and more like a week in the life of Spider-Man, with all the twists, turns, and darker moments included for decent drama. But the interactions between every character and the witty remarks from Spidey himself, and even JJ abusing his callers and spouting anti-Spidey propaganda on the radio are all extremely well done.
It's clear we are at an impasse. My best to you and your husband, madam. Jared, go to commercial, then fire yourself. Then rehire yourself before the commercial ends. But no, your job hangs by a thread. If I paid you, I'd cut your salary in half.
The dialogue makes the characters who they are and the story entertaining, and the voice acting is great too. Well, except for this bit.
I need a natural steroid. My brain will create nightmares that my body thinks are real. There's the greenhouse.
I mean, I know that you're poisoned and you're dying and everything, but what is this? Am I playing Spider-Man or watching a really shitty Shakespearean play?
The smaller details in the plot and the thought gone into why things work for the gameplay are what make it stand out to me, though. For example, the Spider suit upgrades are from Dr. Otto Octavius, who thinks that Peter is the gadget designer for Spidey after he catches him working on his own suit. And by the way, yes, you are actually partners with Doc Ock before the shit hits the fan. You also have to hack police headquarters satellites to get real-time crime and map updates.
yeah, I'm
It's
not gonna
just a
lie.
random go and
That fucking blew my mind when you were introduced to Doc Ock, and you're like, so wait, he's not a villain right now? He's actually your partner, technically, in science? Oh, okay. Yeah, 100% suspicious from the beginning.
clear out everybody here and jump on the top of this thing, then you unlock a thing. No,
Oh,
it's not like
Assassin's
that. They even
Creed.
nailed Spidey's character down to the point of an unlockable move in your XP menu that lets you flip around
Only
and do tricks to
Ubisoft
get more
wasn't in
XP
control
and
of you.
focus. And all the side quests relate directly to what Spider-Man actually does in the city during the game, instead of just having more crimes to fight, because why not? Like in that quest when you have to help out the police, and in return they won't tell anyone that you've been hacking their own satellites for your own map. That's ridiculously Spider-Man in terms of how it feels. And there's that part where you're so wrapped up in your hero work that you end up evicted from your apartment and have to stay with Aunt May in the shelter she works in. Or there's that moment where you have to help out an absent Harry Osborn since his
Well, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, is always on the verge or is homeless. Like, he's always He's just always flip-flopping between barely paying rent, if at all, and being homeless, basically. Yeah. Realistic, honestly. Let's be real, especially with prices in a fucking city like New York.
Father Norman cuts the funding to your research with Octavius, meaning that you aren't only helping Harry with his experiments, but also keeping a business venture for both of you alive for the future once you lose your job finally. There's plenty of personal missions here, as well as the ridiculous hero action 24/7, and I appreciate that, along with all the appearances of most of the classic Spider-Man villains we all know and love. And they don't disappoint here at all of which have quests that are more than simple running around and beating them up like another guy. You can jump in and interrupt your side quests related to them. They all have interesting plots to uncover aside from just being evil. And with the Sinister Six twist, yeah, that's only for the last quarter of the game to be fair, but their appearance is way too epic and changes up the city a ton since they release every prisoner onto the streets.
Oh yeah, I thought that was
game.
fucking great that as you progress through the story, the city changed with the story. So like if you progress to certain points in the story and like certain events happened, you can see it reflected in the city. And I thought that was fucking awesome. I thought that was a great fucking touch. It made it feel more real.
They may be here briefly compared to the other characters, but still leave a huge impression, are a major threat that affects the future events of the game, and just look at them. This is the dream Spider-Man game from my youth. Black Cat's hide-and-seek missions to unlock a new suit in particular felt a lot like the Riddler trophies in Arkham. You know, if the Riddler wanted to sleep with you.
Maybe it's time to reignite the flame.
And I loved how most of the villains, no matter how big or small, directly tie into the events of the story and the other characters. They all have their own motivations and grudges against each other, and it isn't simply a kill Spider-Man because he locked them up plot. Having Peter working alongside Doc Ock to create the arms and seeing the gradual Otto transformation from gentle, brilliant genius to unstable, insane monster is so cool and more sympathetic and understandable compared to other incarnations of the character that I've seen. I desperately didn't want him to become the evil Dr. Octopus because of his character and relationship to Peter, but there you go, this is Spider-Man after all, not Psychologist Man. More importantly,
Psychologist
the story knows to
Man.
have fun with itself. Have you ever played a game
Not
with
as
a mission
catchy.
involving a streamer sending her
Not as
murderous
catchy
fans
as
after you and
Spider-Man.
staging a kidnapping for the clicks? Cause it's here. Or how about one mission where you need to stop a fake Spider-Man getting too deep into everything and getting himself killed? Like usually it's a case of someone impersonates Spider-Man to frame him or something, but here it's just a guy that wants to help out, but he's getting a little bit over his head. Or how about that mission that sees you going to a Halloween party where internet memes live? And surprisingly, what I didn't see coming was the ending, which I found to be extremely emotional and a very satisfying conclusion to the events that have happened throughout the whole game, displaying some
My
of the most character-driven
emotions.
moments in Spidey media history aside from the comics. And the cliffhanger ending is done correctly, concluding the story as telling perfectly fine, but opens itself up for a sequel with unanswered questions and teasing on unresolved conflicts that are hopefully going to be epic beatdowns in another game. This is how you do it, God of War, not by building up the biggest, baddest gods throughout the entire game and giving you the same shitting repeated boss fight over and over again, only to end the game right when the actual bloody fight against something new is about to happen. Screw ya!
I'm sorry. I still like
What the fuck,
God
Caddy?
of War, okay? I just didn't love it. I know that's got absolutely nothing to do with anything, but if I don't make that very clear, the internet will skewer my nuts on a bottle opener.
There's no sign of a few of the
That was a
classic
lot more
Spider-Villains either,
catty
opening
than I
up
was
more
prepared to see.
possibilities.
I was
Goblins,
not.
Kraven, Carnage, and Venom,
No.
Sandman, Lizard, or Mysterio. Well, I mean, Mysterio is kind of in the game, but he's a little bit...
Hey, what's wrong with you?
So yes, I think the game earned itself a little teaser for another game, and do you know why it earned it? Because this may be the best superhero game I've ever played, which used to be Arkham Asylum, but not anymore. The open world is a sprawling playground and is just the right size, but circumvented by the fluency and speed of the web swing in case you find it a little bit too big for the same city visuals from start to end. It's
Yeah,
funny,
honestly,
it's
just-
badass, it's action-packed,
just
it's
swinging through the
beautiful,
game
it's impressive,
itself
it's epic, it's
is-
difficult, it's satisfying, and it looks a lot better than this game.
If you have a
It's
PS4
so
and haven't got this
awesome.
game yet,
It's
you
so
should get it right
relaxing,
now. You're doing
weirdly.
yourself a disservice by not doing so. And if you haven't got a PS4, well, it's pretty expensive. I think you should probably sort your bills out first. And unfortunately, I don't know any other way I can finish this
Yeah,
video
this was definitely done
other
before.
than with
This was done before PlayStation was like shitting their games on the PC.
It's so good it'll make you weep. Watch out, PS4 Spider-Man. His real name is Bruce Banner.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man in that tub with you, Caddy.
My god, it feels so good to be out of that tossing Sue. Hey there everybody, before the outtakes come on today, which will be soon, so please stay tuned, I just wanted to talk at your faces for a second. First of all, to thank the lovely Patreon supporters from the description below and scrolling on the screen right now, but also to just thank you generally.
I really wish he would
this video to the end.
bring the bloopers, the outtakes back
means a lot to me
on his new vids,
entertaining or informative,
because they're so fucking hilarious.
The outtakes
so
will be
good.
A nice little reward for you and will give you a bit of a giggle. I really do hope so. But before we get there, I just want to be able to thank the top tier Patreon supporters on my channel. Omar Matu, Basil, Gamerman, I Have a Portal Gun, Robert Alamsha, Oblivion Rising, William Sanborn, Exopaz, Matthew Hubble, Zakari, Mills Kahai, Binary Code, Kirsten B. QB, Cyberpunk Symphony, Thomas Olsen, Nathan Young, Chumbawamba, Ellen Ripley, Joshua
Chumbawamba.
James Nardiello, Daniel Leon, DC Dungeon Master, Braden Kenny.
Some
Mitchell
people are a
Rose,
little
Jane Ives,
too
and
comfortable with
Amy
some of these
Fontaine-Smith.
names.
Thank you so much, every single one of you.
Can you see that my eyes are shut?
No.
Because my eyes are shut right now. I can't see a sodding thing. Christ, Peter Parker, slow down! You're gonna give yourself a heart attack before you... Before... what? And this is me only talking about the web swinging, you know...
The knot didn't work.
I'm not filming the next bit like
Caddy
this.
confirmed is
I don't
not
care how
Spooder
funny
Man.
it looks. I feel like my nose is being slowly broken right now. I'm very happy about it, apparently. You're rolling, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't read this. I have to have it like right there to read it. Oh, and even better, you can turn off QuickTime events in the. You want to know what the best bit of this game is, though? Like my
Nice. she would literally like, no, not interested at all. No thanks. Him in that fucking costume that was sending me, like that looked so uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. Also, Caddy, what you doing in that bath? Don't be filming that. That's OnlyFans shit. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that. Giving them away for free.